hello, my name is Cogent. I was stupid enough to leave my mobile phone right next to my microphone, making loads of interference. Look at my big dumb head, I'm so dumb. Oh, look at that, I'm drinking a cup of coffee like an idiot. Well, this is actually the start of the third instalment of Cogent's Stumblethrough. Thank you for joining us. I am just doing a very crude voiceover because, oh my goodness, I was a bit of an idiot leaving my mobile phone right next to the microphone. So there's lots of like little bips and beeps and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just covering it up with my lovely dulcet tones now. Thank you so much, and I do apologise, and we're going to get stuck in right about. So we are going to head back, and there's a reason for this. It's because there is a big old shortcut back to the Firelink Shrine, if you remember, which is our kind of like our main hub. So I'm just going to get these guys hopefully sorted out in short order. There we go, give him a little prod from behind. Oh, no, okay. Understood. There we go. So remember we talked about practicing our dodges. It's always good practice. Like with anything. It's just making sure you get your timing nice and right. There we go. Because I haven't warmed up today, so you have to bear with me. But yeah, we'll just get there. We go. Getting that line up right. Now, what we're going to do, instead of retracing our steps back that way, if you remember, we are going to go... Ooh. Whatever that is, fantastic. We are going to go into this cathedral. Now, we have to be very careful on this bit, but it is worth your effort. As you can see, there's a very large and angry looking man there. But that item that you can see just up there, that's what we're here to get. So, remember, keep nice and relaxed in a good mental space. What I'm going to do is go two-handed for this guy, only because blocking a weapon that size doesn't do you a lot of good. But we're going to just move up there so he notices us, and we are going to run back. Because what we want to do is fight him, but we don't want to attract any enemies that are off to our left-hand side. So I'm going to move him out to this little thing here. As you can see, he's a very big, angry dude. He's got a big old shield, so we have to be very careful. Oh, as you can see, look at that. Definitely not as quick as I'd like to be. But remember, there is no rush. We can just do this in our own time. He's not timing us. As you can see, we can just kind of whittle him down just a little bit at a time, because he is nice and slow, which makes our lives a lot easier. Because remember, this isn't a race. Ah, did you see what happened there? Is eventually he actually staggered back, and what that means is that we overcame his poise. There we go, you see? And once we overcome his poise, and you can do that more easily using two-handed attacks. And that means it makes us a bit easier. It gives us an extra window for us to... Oh dear, look at that, see? There was a secondary attack there that I didn't know about. So now I'm just going to back up because we've got all the time in the world. Oh dear. Well, maybe perhaps not. Let me just roll backwards a bit. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. But as you can see, attacking his shield really is... There's not any point to that at all. So what we're going to do is wait for him to attack. Then we're going to dash in. There we go. Nice and easy. Remember, the attacks are very, very damaging, so we just need to be so very careful. And he gave us a nice Titanite Shard, which is brilliant. If you remember from our last video, Titanite Shards are used to upgrade weapons and equipment. I'll celebrate with a nice cup of coffee. If you're wondering what is on my mug, it is the Bath Rugby mug. Yeah, because we love them. Now, as you should as well, wherever you are in the world. Now, because we did that, which is fantastic work on our part, what we're going to do is get this thing, a Firekeeper Soul. Now, do not make the same mistake I did on my first playthrough. I went, oh, that's cool. And I would go and into my items and go, oh, what's that thing? That's cool. I'll, because you go, it says, oh, boost power of the Estus Flask, your healing potions. And I went, oh, brilliant, I'll use that then, and that'll make it more powerful. I was like, no. No, stop right there, Sonny Jim. What we're going to do is keep a hold of it for the time being, because you don't use it just yet. So what we're going to do is head to the other side of the cathedral, and we are just going to get on this little lift. For a very, very good reason, because this now has opened something up for us. Where's that? Oh, but I think you know where that is. That is the Filing Shrine, which is fantastic. Take that. Right. Which is a great little shortcut, and there is lots of little nooks and crannies in the Filing Shrine to explore. Oh, look at that. No, I failed at my... Oh dear. Aha, there we go. We can get back down. Now, you'll meet a few NPCs here. This is one of the chaps who sells you miracles. Miracles? Miracles? I don't know.
With us. If not,
I prefer to keep a distance. Oh, that's fair enough. So if you keep speaking to him, he will eventually go, oh, well, you might want to learn some miracles. Fantastic. See, the thing is, I'm so self-conscious about saying the word miracles? Miracles? I don't know. Because someone pointed out on my Twitch channel that I'm not saying it correctly, and I was like, really? I don't know. Anyway, so remember we got that Firekeeper soul. What we're going to do now is we're going to head up to this very forlorn looking guy, and we're just going to go around to the left hand side, and there's a nice flight of stairs there. Wonderful. Now underneath the Filing Shrine is the Firekeeper. Not a very talkative young lady, which I think is quite understandable. And we just go to reinforce Esther's Flask. Use Firekeeper Soul to reinforce Esther's Flask? Yes. Fantastic. And what you see now is at the bottom, Esther's Flask +1, which means for every use of your Estus, it will just do a little bit more health back per use, which is really, really handy. So remember, do not make the same mistake I did, and just use the item. Oh, dearie me. Right. Let's see, because I can't remember from our last session, if we managed to pick up any additional soul. We did. Might be able to get another level up in here, which would be quite good. So we're going to do that. Back down. Large soul, we're lost undead. Remember, these things are good to keep on you until you're safe. Oh, I don't think that's going to be quite enough, is it? No heart. Okay. No worries, we'll just be nice and careful. Now, like the Black Knights that we saw yesterday? No, our last video. Oh, dearie me. I get so very easily confused nowadays. YouTube, it's just ridiculous. Now, yes, in our last video, we talked about the Black Knight who promptly beat me silly. If you killed the Black Knight, it doesn't respawn when the world resets when you rest at a bonfire site. Oh, actually, it's the same thing applies with that big mace-wielding guy. Now, what I'm going to show you just now is a little interesting shortcutty type of thing. So, we're going to go up here. I'm going to leap off. Shock horror. Now, the reason we do this is we're going to do a little bit of cool gymnastics. There we go. If you look down there, there's two chests, which is cool. So we're going to get them in a second. What I'm going to do first is show you a little bit of a secret, because again, it's never explained to you, is that you can, when you explore the Undead Asylum and you are picked up by a big old crow and taken to here, what you can do is, if you want to go back there and explore fully, is you can get in that nest and you can pretend to be an egg. In fact, actually, I'll show you. Here, curl up like a ball. Again, there is really nothing in this game that tells you can do this. And what we talked about being, you know, rewarding of patience, we're just going to sit here for a minute. And I'm going to sip my lovely coffee. Oh my goodness. Crow Mama is not happy. It's so very random. Very, very random indeed. My smiling little face there. Hello! So I fly off, and you can return to the Firelink Shrine. Now, this is actually a good opportunity to explore. And if you do end up doing this, there are a couple of little pitfalls that you might want to bear in mind for your playthrough. So I'm just going to have a little look around, because certain things are a little bit different here. Now, these guys are very dangerous. It doesn't look like it, but they do have a lot of hit points. But that flailing fire attack is actually rather damaging, because it does bypass your armour. So you want to... See? Look at that! Look! Wow! That was a very, very aggressive demonstration of how dangerous those guys are. So now... Typically... Ooh, I've gone hollow and I don't look very good. So... Now I'm going to have to go back there and get my souls back, aren't I? Because technically I really shouldn't be going back there at this level. It is a very dangerous place. Oh, thanks. Some firebombs, lovely. I didn't even know they were there. There you go. So rather than go back up to the lift, you can go up this little side passage here. So let's run back. I said, and you'll tend to find that, again, remember, don't be down on yourself if you end up dying, especially in the way that I just did, because it is just part of the Dark Souls experience. Death is a very important part of this game, and without it, you would not really be able to succeed. So, something to bear in mind. So what we're going to do is look at that. Parkour, fantastic. So we're just going to get back there. You'll be pleased to know that you won't actually have to wait as long every time you do this. So I'm just going to get back here. I shall get my souls and return here. There we go. Right. So let's get back over here. Before I foolishly... So let's see. To be fair, I would like to try and demonstrate to you whilst I'm here. We're just going to pick you away. There we go. As you can see, I said my stats at the moment do not give me a lot of wiggle room. So I have to be very, very careful. And if you notice, because I'm constantly blocking, my stamina did not regen very fast at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get by them, just in case I end up rolling off a cliff. And you never know, I might get lucky, and they might fall off a cliff themselves. That'd be nice. Nope, no such joy for me. You see? Remember, practice and perseverance. That's all we need. There we go. Nice little bumper crop of souls as well. Now, I'm not looking too hot at the moment, let's say. I'm looking a little bit peaky. So, and again, that doesn't affect us, remember, because I'm not currently using summons, and we don't need to summon anything at this point. Now, what I want to just explain to you at this little section here is you think, oh, I'm back at the Undead Asylum, that's wonderful, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Now, I want to urge you away, for the love of all that is holy to you, do not walk on that floor. The reason for that, it will crumble beneath your feet. And do you remember the Asylum Demon from way back at the start of the game? There's another one of him down there, but he is 1,000 times tougher. So do not walk on the centre of that floor. I mean, those guys can, because, you know, that's just how it is. Oh, goodness me. Come on, there we go, let's back that up. Remember, it's not a race. Nice and calm. Just going to let him act out. There we go. So you'll know a lot of this kind of layout from, obviously, the start of the game. Now what I do want to do... Now, Do you remember the man who gave us the Estus flask at the beginning of the game? Always here. And he is unhappy. So what we're going to do is try and trick him a little bit. There we go. And again, this is a guy who is a tough nut to crack because he's wearing some very good armour, but it's kind of worth our time to try and overcome him because he gives us that shield he's wearing. But the problem is, obviously, I'm a little bit too low level for this to really be an effective fight. So what I might do... See, at the moment, as you can see, he's got very, very slow dodge because he's wearing very heavy armour, which is good for us. There we go. Give him a little backstab. Oh, hello. There we go. Let's back away from that. Remember, we're keeping nice and relaxed. Uh-oh. As you can see, I'm really not equipped, unfortunately, to deal with this guy at the moment. But this is what I just wanted to warn you whilst we were kind of exploring this little area. So, I'm going to go and run back up and get my souls, and then we are going to head back to a land less hostile, let's say. We'll leave you to it there, buddy. And tell you what, when we are a little bit better equipped, we will come back and do this place again. Sorry, I mean, again. Because you got me a bit frightened there. Must be said. So you get some really cool stuff here, so it is worth popping back. Oh. He's still angry at me. There we go. This is a very old tactic known as running away and hoping you don't get affected. There we go. And we're off. Bum, bum, bum. But remember, I said there was nothing to worry about. We're nice and calm. We're now we're straight back in. There we go. Lovely. And we can pretend that that never happened, which is even better. So yeah, let's head back down these stairs. So there's a couple of little cool things that are lurking around in this place. There we go. That's the thing I did forget to pick up. So it says the Undead Asylum F2 West Key. You remember the locked door way back in the Undead Asylum on the far side when I showed you that set of stairs that was broken? There is a ring that you can get, but we will come back there later and fetch that. I think what we're going to do is risk breaking our legs by popping down here. Boop. Remember our lesson? Always attack your chests. Just in case. Ooh, a morning star. And a talisman. Now, I'll explain a little bit about the talisman. But we're not going to be using it in this game. It's only because a talisman is something that you use to cast miracles. Miracles? Miracles? Anyway. Ooh, I can use that. Ooh, and it's a lot better. Ooh. Yes, please. Fantastic. I'll take it. Thank you very much. So yeah, let me see if I can find that talisman for you. So if you are a like a cleric type character, you use these talismans to cast miracles. Instead of having a shield, or a weapon indeed, you would have that out and you would use the action buttons to cast your different spells. Oh, look at that. Always very spiky. Looking forward to playing that. Oh, there's another one as well. Bonk. But remember how subtly different everything is. So, if you remember how fast I was swinging that sword about, which was fantastic, this is just a little bit more slow. Can I actually use it properly? I just need to see. Oh. Yeah, requires... yeah. I can indeed. Fantastic. Oh, look at that. And through here there's a fourth chest. But remember, always remember, always attack your chests. Lord's Talisman is fantastic. Great. Uh-oh. Just to demonstrate, they are still quite strong, those things, at the moment, so we're just going to run back. Run back. We're not in any rush. Just need to avoid those guys. So, I'm just going to pop back. We're going to pinch whatever we can find, which is one of these fellas. Lovely. Oh no, they're still on us. But just see how I'm nice and relaxed and I'm not panicking. Because it is very easy to start panicking in this game. So, there we go. Sit down, and that means the world is reset. I think. Yes, it is. Fantastic. So, because I've got a spare humanity, I'm actually going to reverse my hollowing, just because it's a bit nicer to look at than a big shriveled corpse. So, that's fantastic. So you've got a fellow naked guy with us, so that's nice. And I have enough strength to level up. Enough souls, sorry. So let's do that. I'm actually going to make that to a nice round 20 strength. Which is fab. Clonk. I like it. So, let's just see if any of my items now require 16. I could use a halberd, I suppose. Zweihander is still very, very... it's a little bit out of our reach at the moment, so we're just going to carry on with this. But now all of that's out of the way, we're going to head back to that cathedral. Just have a look, actually. Is that a lot heavier? 13, 26, 52? No, we are absolutely fine. Sorry, if you see me doing maths very, very quickly, I do apologise. What I'm looking just above my portrait is the equipment load. And if you remember, to get the fast dodge, we need to keep our equipment load at about 1/4 or 25% of our total. And that gives us the extra mobility. Because putting all that heavy armour on, as you saw with that, with the hollowed guy. So if I put all this on, in fact if I put that boulder armour on to demonstrate a little bit more fully, which does look very cool. But as you can see, it's very slow. Oh, it does look quite cool though, doesn't it? I'm awful for this because a very common thing is something called fashion souls, which means you just do all the things that make you look really cool rather than anything that's useful. But no, let's go shirtless for now, because I do prefer that extra mobility. It does make your life a lot easier, I do tend to find. So, what we're going to try and do... Oh, look at the shadows and lighting. God. It's basically that's modelled on me, by the way. But, but we can dream, can't we? So with that out of the way, I'm looking at my shield here, and I'm thinking, it's not great. So what I'm going to try and do, remember, that big guy is gone now forever, which is nice. Let's go and test out this mace on someone. Hello. Oh, it does pretty good damage. We like it. Oh, that's much better. Keeping up with our timing as well, we can now kill these guys in one shot, which is fantastic. There we go. Very, very nice. It's probably not the weapon that I will keep forever, only because there are much, much better weapons later on. So we're just going to keep going with this mace until we find something else. Now, this is a bit of a complex manoeuvre. So we are... If you remember where we've returned, this is where we started our stream today. So I'm going to head back down those stairs, past Andre. Hello, Andre. Shirtless squad. Loving it. Right. If you remember, just before I ended last video, down here, there was someone very spooky. This chap. Now, remember, not all fights are meant to be fought at the time you find them for the first time. We are just going to go, and run away. Because he's very easy to avoid. There we go. Easy peasy. And he can't crawl out that door. Even though he's very intent on making our lives a bit miserable. Sorry, I'm just having a little explore up this way, just in case. Because there are undoubtedly things that I have forgotten. So, there's some very cool things that we can find in this area. It's very relaxing, isn't it? Oh. But lo, ahead. These guys are a little annoying because you can't really do much about them. They are very cool looking, but they've got like vine lashes, which has actually got quite a big reach. There we go. Lovely. But they do drop purple moss clumps, and they are very good for us because there are areas in this game which poison you a lot. A lot. So remember in earlier videos we were attacked by rats and they kind of bit us, and then that bar at the bottom sort of filled up a little bit with a black teardrop. Oh, see, they have got quite fearsome reach. No, bad. There we go. The best thing about this mace, especially used in two hands, is that it is very good at breaking their poise, which means that they stagger in between attacks. So again, if you keep your timing nice and relaxed, it's fine. So, oh, I'm so sorry, I was just wandering off. Right, so this is the way we came in, remember? What we're going to do is make a run for an amazing shield. And it's probably the shield that we're going to keep for the rest of the game, okay? So once you get to this little puddle, instead of going straight on, we're going to turn right. Remember, we have to be brave in this bit as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to run down the side of this cliff here. It's very pretty, isn't it? Oh. And things, there are no maps in this place as well, so it is really just down to memorising. Or, if you want, you can even, like if you're an old school D&D player like me, you might be able to, or you might want to draw the map as you find it. Or again, Google is your best friend if you want to find a map. Remember, there is no right or wrong way to play this. Now, we really want to get these guys. The reason I didn't stop to explain is because the second those things see you, they run off, and if you don't kill them within a certain amount of time, they disappear. And they're really good because they pretty much all the time drop some really cool crafting material, which is really useful for us. Now, I've done that bit, so I'll look off this little cliff. No, we're not far enough down yet. So we're just going to do these switchbacks down. And remember the Black Knight that spanked me silly in our last video? There is another one just down here. But we're a little bit low level, and we're not very well equipped to really deal with him properly. But, ooh, would you look at that? A suit of armour. That might be a bit lighter. I totally meant to do that. I didn't accidentally press X. I totally did. But that's okay. Now, so we've got hard leather gauntlets. Ah, but low. It might be a little bit worse. But only a little bit worse, but they are also a little bit lighter. You see? So what this could mean for me is that I might be able to wear another piece of equipment, potentially. 15, 30, 60, not quite there. Ooh, 16.3. Oh, not quite. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll put my hard leather stuff on again. There we go. That's very light, isn't it? No, let's not worry about that. But for when we get our endurance up, we can make that a little bit better. Remember, bravery does not mean having to fight everything and try and win, okay? And obviously, if you're feeling confident, you absolutely go for it. More power to you. I'm not telling you to do anything. This is all just general advice. Nothing is gospel. And as you have clearly seen from my previous videos, I am not a pro gamer at all. But what we are aiming for is that beautiful little shiny down there. So, the issue is, we're about to meet an old friend. Now, there's a couple of ways you can deal with this. Look, as you can see, look, just down there. You can see him. He's looking mad. They always look mad. So no, this is a little bit of a cheeky thing. But it does work. Now, there's one thing that I haven't explained. And it is these things. Homeward Bones, they're the best. So, they are the equivalent, if you played World of Warcraft, is the Hearthstone, or any kind of warp token, essentially. And what this allows us to do is very quickly, so he has just spotted me, so I'm going to run up, and he'll have to run up to get me. If you want this, come and get this. And now I'm going to run. He's going to follow me down, but remember, it doesn't matter if he gets us. We're going to run into this cave just up here. And the reason why is because there's a bonfire hidden in here. And this gives us access to another part of the world, for example. So we've lit that bonfire, but I haven't rested at it. And that's important. So I have ignited it, which is great. But I'm going to use a Homeward Bone. And what that'll do... and take us straight back to the Firelink Shrine, which is the one that I rested at last. And now I'm out of danger from that Black Knight. Now, I've got some cool things. This is what we were fighting for. Holy smokes. But Cogent, you say? It's less stable. It's got less protection. It's just not as good. It's like, well, yes. However, the one very important thing is that it's imbued with magic which slightly speeds stamina recovery. Now, this is even if you don't... Like, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a slightly lighter weapon. There we go. I'm going to go with my longsword for a minute. Because it's a little bit heavier than my other shield. But now look, I'm glowing, which is fantastic. Because now, that stamina comes back so much quicker. It's really good, so it's worth having on you all the time. Even if you do two-hand lot stuff, you still get the effects of that shield, which is really, really useful. I've still got my big mobile swings and dodges, which is fantastic. So, but Cogent, that was a whole lot of faff for just a shield. He's like, yes, I know. I get you. Don't worry. Don't panic. I'm here for you. Alright? Right. Back in the Undead Parish. Such a lovely place. Welcome to the Undead Parish Church. Lovely time of year. You can find me here. Sorry, everyone. Oh, right, let's get this guy sorted out. So remember those boulders that we saw before? I don't like these guys. These ones specifically, because they have those little dueling rapiers. Because they are very naughty. So I'm just going to keep him at arm's length for the time being. Because I always prefer caution. Oof. Ow. Oh, look at that! You see? And you still get the parry on the shield, and I was really not expecting that to work. Cogent, give yourself more credit. But yes, look at that. We had him. That's fantastic. So, the reason I'm going up these stairs now is because we are going to approach one of the first big bosses. Remember the Bell of Awakening we need to ring? Or one of the two? It's on the top of this church. Now, this guy, oh, this confounded guy, we are going to pop up these stairs. Now, this is a bit of a weird situation, a bit of a weird room. It's not great, but it is worth clearing for your own peace. As you can see, he's having a bit of a boogie, which is awesome. Well done him. The problem with that, see, he's firing magic at us as well. That little dance he did has now buffed what is basically a horde of those very basic enemies. And like with... Oh, see, and these things are powerful if you are not careful, because they will just overwhelm you, and they do so much damage. It's crazy. So we are going to be very, very cautious at this bit. What we do want is eventually to kill that big wizard guy, because he also doesn't respawn, which is very important for us to realise. So we're just going to poke him. Oh, okay, he seems to be... The thing is, he looks very cool. Oh no, he's having another boogie. Now, be very careful, because his attacks are very, very strong. There we go. We did what we came here to do, which is fantastic. So anything beyond that is now a big bonus, which is fantastic. Right, so... Hello. Poke! But again, whilst they are just basic enemies, it is very important that we just keep nice and calm. Just wind our way through. And remember, it is very easy to panic when you're confronted with a lot of people, but that's just something that you'll learn over time. It's just that little bit of patience. Remember, this isn't a race. We're not speedrunning this. We're not doing a no-hit run or anything like that. Anything super crazy like that. So the boss is up this little section here on the right-hand side. We're just going to explore the rest of this cathedral whilst we're here. Ooh, hello. Thank you very much. A large soul of a nameless soldier. That is probably the best soul that we've found so far, so we're going to keep a hold of it for the time being. I'm just debating to myself whether or not I'm actually high enough level to do this boss, but we're going to give it a go. Hello. Uh-oh. Oh, dearie me. Uh-oh. I deserve that one, because I didn't get far enough away, you see. But yeah, you have to be so careful with these guys, because they are... Ha! Did he survive? Oh, he did survive. Right, so knocking people off cliffs is great, but unfortunately he actually survived his fall. He's not looking too well, as he seems to be limping quite a lot, but we'll have to find him in a second. But remember, just bear in mind that he's down there and he'll be following us up, so we're just going to carry on. We're not in any rush, it's fine. So we'll get to that in just a second. We're going to spin around here. There's all this very sinister things. We give that a little attack, and sometimes, there we go, those corpses in barrels will drop a cool item for you. And in this case it was more humanity, which is fantastic. Is he? Anyway, that's fine. Haha! Heroic vandalism. Now, so we're going to head up this little bell tower to this young man. Hello.
Oh, still human, are you? Then I am in luck.
Could you help me? So again, I will be skipping through a lot of this dialogue. It's only so you can enjoy it, basically, later on. So remember we picked up that mystery key way, way back in the mists of time. That is what is used to free this young man. Which is great for us. Now.
Thank you. Yet
Sincerely.
I truly appreciate it.
Get your reward only later, which is understandable. I mean, he is in a prison cell. What that will do is that at some point down the line, we are able to summon him to help us in boss fights. And you will come across a lot of videos and a lot of walkthroughs that will say, no, don't ever use summons at all, it's ridiculous. It's like, well, is it? No, it's not. I mean, they've been put in there to help a player if they're having difficulties, which is completely understandable. And it's not a mark of shame. If you feel as if you need to summon someone, I think that's absolutely fine. But you know what? I think we're going to give this boss a go. Leatherface. So I think that is an actual human player. So we're going to pop up here. But what's this? Do you remember him way back in the mist of time? We spoke to him on the bridge. Knight Solaire, engaged in jolly cooperation. He is going to help us with this boss. Because remember, we're not pro gamers, we are just going to help ourselves have a good time. And I love Knight Solaire as well, so, you know. And this guy is controlled by the computer. Ta-da! Praise the sun, fantastic. And let's traverse that white void. Just remember, if this is your first playthrough, you can make it as easy and as difficult as you want. So what we're going to do is just take a little walk out here. And what we're also going to do is, remember that gold pine resin we found after getting the residence key? I'm going to put that on my sword. I love these cinematics, and I love the enemy design, because how cool are these gargoyles? Ooh, it's spooky! Oh, he's angry. Now, remember, keep nice and relaxed. These videos are purely designed to intimidate you, and it does work, because he's very scary, for sure. But again, we're going to keep nice and calm. So we're going to wait for him to land. This guy has slower attacks, but it's also very important that you remember that lightning? It is doing loads of damage to him, which is fantastic. The thing that I regret doing that is if you are slightly more careful than me, what you can do... See, to be honest, I don't think we even needed Knight Solaire on that one, did we? So, firstly, Joss. Thanks, Knight Solaire, you're the best. Firstly, big bumper crop of souls, which is fantastic. You know when that first gargoyle landed and started attacking us with that big old axe, and it was really, really creepy? If you can get round behind him and attack his tail a few times, his tail comes off and becomes actually quite a cool two-handed axe. So that's something to bear in mind for your run-through. But the other important thing is that he is very vulnerable to lightning attacks, which is why even in my feeble state, half-dressed, using a very basic sword, was able to do so much damage to him. But yeah, not bad, was it? It was all very spooky and all very scary, but at the end of the day, just another mob. Just another monster. Which again, if you're nice and calm and collected, you time your dodges, you time your blocks, you'll have no problem at all. But even me, I'm 34 years old. Time is creeping up on me, it feels like sometimes. And my nerves are shot, and I can still play this game and succeed in it, which is fantastic. And that is us ringing the first bell of awakening, which is fantastic news for us. Wonderful. So technically, you think, oh, that's the first... Excuse you. That is the first half of the game done. No, sir. You may rest assured that you are... you're in for it. So, we're going to climb back down this bell tower now. You know, flushed with success. Fantastic. We've got loads of souls, which is amazing. And who is this? He is the creepiest man on planet Earth. Just see him down here.
Greetings.
Greetings!
I am Oswald of Career. The path here
Lack faith.
cometh out of the
Now,
earth.
when they talk about requesting absolution, this is something that, again, I haven't really explored fully, but as I understand it, if you end up attacking and killing NPCs, so remember that depressed guy at the Firelink Shrine? If you kill him, you would actually end up becoming a sinner, which means people who want to kind of kill sinners can warp into your world and come after you because you're basically a criminal in this world. This guy, you can pay souls to remove that sin, and it will also stop NPCs from attacking you, which is useful if you accidentally end up getting one very angry. So, yeah. But we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is learn this gesture. And there's a reason for that. Mainly because it's the best gesture in the world. But I will demonstrate that to you in a second. Let's have a look through his items. So, he's got not hugely great things for us. I mean, the Blood Bite Ring is pretty good. The Poison Bite Ring is also pretty good. But we do end up finding them. So, we're not going to worry too much about that. And he does sell Ring of Sacrifices as well. Just in case we want to sort of top that up and make sure that we're okay at some point. So, if people sort of invade your world, there is occasions, there is actually etiquette and politeness. That creepy laugh. I would love to do that in real life. Imagine if you're just in a shop and you think, oh, I want to buy a hot dog. All right, thank you very much. That'll be £2.50, please. Yeah, great. Here you are. Here's your change. Have a good day. Have a good day. See you later. It just immediately colours everything you've done up to that point in insanity. But anyway, when someone invades your world, there is a little bit of decorum to observe. So, if you press select, you get the gesture menu. So he'll appear and they might stand before you and not do anything. And you can then use gesture. Look at that. So sassy. So sassy. That's why I love it. And because there's no other way to communicate directly in this game, it's only through gestures. So it's just a bit of fun. But if you do take to invading people's worlds, it is always considered polite to emote at them before you murder them. That's not something I do particularly. I prefer kind of being summoned in to help with a boss or something like that, because I find that just a lot more rewarding. Oh, sorry sir. But that was good, that wasn't too bad, was it? I think that was pretty easy, and at the point we are in the game, we've found some cool items, so yeah, it made our lives a lot easier for ourselves, which is great. Should I? No, I'm not going to do that, that just seems silly. It seems needlessly reckless. Bonk. Go. Notice that I have stopped using the Morning Star. There is a reason for that. It's because I would prefer to have this shield on and keep my equipment load quite low. Boop. But we're about to change that. But if you notice that how quickly your stamina comes back is really useful, because it makes running away from people a lot easier as well. But that is why we invested those 1,000 souls at the beginning of the game to get that gold pine resin, you see? See? Always thinking. It's good. Right. What we're going to do is level up, and we are going to get some endurance. Yeah. In fact, we're going to boost it hugely. Yes, because I like endurance a lot. Mainly because it increases our stamina as well. So our stamina's starting to creep up, which is fantastic. And that does mean now I should be able... Let's have a look. Yeah, look at that. As long as we can keep it under 15... 14, 28, that is 56, which is good. So we're still under the percentage. So now we've done that a boss, we're feeling good about ourselves, which is great.
Well,
Hello again. Oh, maybe. Oh, I'll learn that gesture off him as well, because why not? Let's reinforce. Ooh. Now, when it says reinforce weapon, it does mean reinforce anything you have that you can wield in your hands, alright? And what I'm going to do is actually upgrade my Grass Crest shield a little bit. Not for any particular... Actually, yeah. No, I'm not gonna actually. I was flip-flopped so much, it's terrible. I'm so sorry, everyone. But I think that'll be fine. So, remember? Big scary demon guy? We're just going to stay nice and relaxed, remember? He's going to do some crazy stuff, but we're just going to run straight by. We're going to ignore him until we're a little bit more powerful and we can go after him. Fantastic. Well, I think we've done really well today, guys. What do you think? Oh, hello. He's an angry plant. Oh, you see, that's the disadvantage of this weapon, is that it is so very slow, but very heavy. So it's a little bit of swings and roundabouts, but I like it. I'm gonna keep it for a little while. But remember, what I'm doing isn't the only thing you can do. If you find you like daggers more, brilliant. More power to you. Oh, see you later. But I like big weapons that stagger people because, well, just for that very reason. One strike knocked him off a cliff, which is great. Now let's have a look. These things are very easily disguised. Look, if you look. Uh-oh. I deserve that fully. My favourite thing about the mace, or the Morning Star, is it's so like kind of my style towards life. It's not about being naturally talented at everything. It's just about persistence. Oh my words! Because natural talent is great. Never argue that, but nothing, and I promise you, nothing beats practice and perseverance. That will win out every single time, I promise you. Because that's how I did it. This is how I completed Dark Souls. And I completed Dark Souls 2 and all the DLC. And I'm currently in the process of playing Dark Souls 3 on my Twitch channel. Which is crazy. So, sorry, I'm just yakking to myself. So, you'll run through that thing. It's just a straight line from the spooky demon guy. And you'll find this big spooky door. We don't need to worry about that big spooky door at the moment. And I'll explain why. It's because it's currently locked by some contraption. But what you can do, you can buy the key for this door off of Andre. The price of that key is 20,000 souls. I mean, good heavens. So what I've just done there is broken through an illusory wall. So when you first get that area, you go, oh, big locked door. Get to there, turn left. This will be blocked off. Just run up to it and swing through. And that is where one of the Darkroot Basin bonfires is. Outstanding, we did it. So I'm going to rest here for a second. Let's see what time we're at. Okay, so I've got another 10 minutes. So I'm going to show you something cool. Hopefully in the 10 minutes. We'll see. So just to the right of that locked door is a little passage. Brilliant. Fantastic. And we'll ignore the fog door for the time being. But we're going to turn right. There's a trap ahead. You see, someone was very nice. Because if you look, those 3 spiky plants... they're monsters. Bonk. Hello. Uh-oh. There we go. You naughty man. We'll let him come out to us. Because the range on them are very, very long. There we go. Just gives us a little bit of more flexibility. So I'm going to go bonk. Ah. Oh, ouch. That wasn't very sensible of me, was it? But it just goes to show I'm not perfect at this game, and I freely admit that, and I encourage everyone to embrace their faults. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. Remember, just practice. Practice your timings, and you'll be A-OK, I promise. Large solar installer, fantastic. We're getting quite a few of them now, see? Because now we're starting to advance a little bit in the game. We're finding things that are much more valuable. So before I sign off today... Nothing. See, it's fine. It's just a new area. So what we're going to do is we are going to ignore everything to our front at the moment. Alright? We are going to hug this wall. And I'll tell you why. There's lots of things here, but look, this tree is moving. That's very odd. Try attacking. Okay, well, yeah, fine, I'll do that. If I can, there we go. It takes damage, why is that? Well, the reason for that is it is technically acting as a mobile wall, and what we want is behind that wall. It's a little way. It's got a lot of hit points, this. There we go. But then imagine trying to cut down a tree with a spiky ball. It's not going to work too well. But yeah, so we're just going to follow this down. And this is what I love about heavy weapons, because it doesn't give your opponent a chance to attack. Because those guys are, firstly, really cute. I mean, little pancake frogs. Aww. But they do poison attacks, so it's very important that you try and avoid them if possible. But remember, we picked up that purple moss, so we can use that. So here's another moving tree. We might as well get to know him. And doing this as well is actually really good for sort of practice purposes, because it allows you to be able to find out how much stamina each attack on the weapon that you like the most does, or uses, and how much damage, and all of that kind of jazz. There we go. So it's a secret wall within a secret wall within a secret. So that is so Dark Souls. So what we're going to do is we're going to hug the left wall this time. I'm going to be very careful. And the reason for that is because there's a couple of enemies in here which are pretty dangerous. So, but I promise you, it's going to be worth it. All right. So for now, what we're going to do is hug that wall. Oh my stars! There we go. We're just going to keep. Remember, we're going to keep nice and relaxed. It's going to be fine. And remember, your attacks can also hit things through other things, as you can see, which is really good for us. And did you also notice that I was doing maybe 38 damage or 33 damage per, and then all of a sudden it went, oh, you did 81. That is because this mace, or this Morning Star, has, let me show you, is if you look down the bottom left-hand corner next to Orcs effects, that little brown stain, that means it adds a bleeding value to things that have blood, essentially. And every now and then they'll suffer from blood loss and take loads of damage, which is great. Pillage of Corpse. Soul of a Proud Knight. Yes! That's great news! And the one last little thing we want to try and do, I'm going to demonstrate why these guys are a little bit tough. Right, so firstly, you need to wait for them to stand up, which is a bit frustrating. Oh! They're big rotters. If they attack slowly, but again very powerfully. So it's... There we go. Not so bad and worth quite a few souls. But they also do a spell which slows you down massively, and it makes all your attacks super slow. It means you can't roll, and it is just really, it's just bad news, basically. But the last thing we're going to do, so if you remember, we hugged the left wall, we're just following the border of that thing around. I'm just going to see if there's actually anything lurking out that back there. Bear with me 1 second. Because remember, we're not perfect. Let's just go around here and see if there's anything cool or exciting. Sadly not, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about that then. So yeah, remember when we came into this area? If you want to get straight to this bit, you can just hug the right wall and head up this slope. Now, it's a long old walk. And there's a nasty man here, which is not great for us really. Because remember, they don't flinch. Oh, look at that. I just managed to avoid that last strike. Uh-oh. There we go. Whew. Always makes me a bit nervous fighting those guys, because they're very, very strong. This is what we're fighting up towards. The Wolf Ring, which is really good. It is a good thing to have on you. For why? It boosts your poise, which is brilliant for us. So let's see if I can find our poise. There it is. Look. So my poise at the moment is 0, which means every hit I stagger backwards from it. What a nightmare. That boosts it to 40. That means I will not be flinching getting hit, which is really good. So it's well worth the investment. And now, with a little bit of gymnastics, whether or not I'll do this first time out, I have no idea. We're going to run, and we're going to leap. And you might already recognise where we are. If so, 10 out of 10. Ooh. Nice. Blood red moss clumps help with bleeding, which is very good for us. So, hello. Be gone, plant man. There you go. I think we made some really, really good progress today, guys. What do you think? But again, I'm really hope I'm demonstrating the fact that if you just stay relaxed and easygoing, like you should be when you play every video game, this game is really achievable. And we are now back at our bonfire with a whole bunch of really cool souls. We've already done a boss. We've rang the first bell of awakening. We have done loads of stuff, which is fantastic. So I'm going to leave it here today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed our little stumble through together. I'll be picking this up again tomorrow. So all of these videos go up daily, so you're able to you can follow me along, basically. And we can follow our adventures along through Dark Souls and then on to the next games, and it'd be amazing. If you have enjoyed it, I will obviously very humbly ask that you give me a little subscribe and a little like. It really does help me grow as a content creator, and I would absolutely love to put a comment, see, and let me know what you think of this series. If there's anything you really want to find out about, asking any questions at all, I absolutely love teaching people about awesome games. So I will leave you there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Alright, take care, stay in a really nice mental space, and take your meds if you need them. I love you loads. Take it easy. I'll see you later.